In this video, we'll cover the sus chord and how to apply it as a substitution. The sus chord can be found in numerous jazz tunes. However, we can also use the sus chord as a chord substitution. As we learnt in the guide tone video, in a sus chord, the fourth replaces the third in a dominant chord. In the example here, we have C7 turned into a C7 sus4 using this technique. Let's look at how we can use the sus chord as a chord sub. Here's a standard 2-5-1 sequence. We can change the 5-7 chord into a 5-7 sus4 like this. And finally, we can sub the whole of the 2-5 into a 5-7 sus chord like this. Here's how it works. As with tritone subs, guide tones are the reason this substitution works so well. Here's a simple guide tones for the 2-5-1. Now, let's look at the guide tones for the second sequence, where the 5-7 sus replaces the standard 5-7 chord. As you can see, the guide tones now include a 4 in the 5-7 sus. And you may notice that by doing this, it's exactly the same notes as the guide tone to the previous chord, the 2-7. Let's look at the last sequence. As you can see, to create the sus chord sub, we've now changed the bass note in the first chord. This substitution is often used to create a bit of space in a sequence, as it slows down the harmonic rhythm due to effectively losing a chord change, the 2-7. Adding extensions to a sus chord is straightforward. The sus chord is a dominant chord but without a third, so we can still access the same extensions as a normal 5-7 chord, the first extension being the 9, for example. The second extension will be the 13, for example. In the next video, we'll look at a famous jazz sequence used when doing reharmonizations, the Coltrane changes.